Hello everyone, my name is Mayoi, and we're back. Pokemon Y Shiny Hunting episode 284, Lapras. If you didn't watch the last episode, why didn't you? And this episode's topic is by me. It's an English dubbed anime called JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, and it's the one that has the parentheses with the year 2000 in it. If you don't know what parentheses means, it's like the little... How do I explain it? It's like pretty much like a letter C for the normal one that's pointing to the right, except for it's like a skinny letter C, and then the other one is just like a backwards letter C. So if you know what I mean, then that's what that is. That's what parentheses are. But yeah, it's the one that has the parentheses with the year 2000 in it, because that's the specific one I'm talking about. I know there's plenty of other ones, because that anime is pretty funny, because I see it in a lot of memes. The newer versions, I think it's like I don't know if it's from this exact like story of these the anime I'm going to talk about in this episode, or if it's like a different one. But always when he's talking about the main one, JoJo, he's like JoJo, he's like JoJo. So it's funny. It's really funny if you've seen those memes. I think it's that's like him talking in the Japanese one, but in the English dub it sounds like pretty normal. And then in the English dubbed, the one I'm going to talk about, it's like Jotaro, or so like Jotaro. It's just so funny. I know it's like his name is pretty cool, but it's just funny how they say it. It's just funny to me. But anyway, if you don't want to be spoiled by the anime, then I'll give you a chance to mute now. Alright, you had your chance. So, like I said, it is English dubbed, and it's a pretty awesome anime. It is only there's a lot of episodes actually. I think to my memory there is 8 or 10. No, not that many. I think there was like 4 actually, 4 or 5 or 6. I don't remember how many, but it's like between like 3 to 10. It's one of those. It's like the closer to 3 episodes, I would say. But then it shows like the timeline where it's like those episodes are like a minute each, so it's like it's not that long at all. But anyway, talk about the main anime. I don't know which one's my favorite. I would probably say if any of them are my favorite. Which character would be my favorite? Because I do like JoJo, or Jotaro as they would call him. Yeah, I don't know. I would say I like him the most because the other characters that accompanied him on his journey, which is his grandfather, and then his grandfather's assistant, and then Jotaro's. Well, he pretty much becomes like his. I would say his best friend. It seems like they have a really close bond. But then another one that they also meet as well that was like controlled by Dio, and that I'll explain who that is in a little bit if you don't know who that is. But anyway, yeah. So I don't know. I would want to say that just Jotaro is my favorite character. I know it's pretty normal just for people to like the main character, but I like his stand. I like the kind of person he is, very confident, all that. So yeah. So anyway, yeah, let's start out to talk about who exactly he is and what his family has to do with the story. So pretty much his name is Jotaro, or Jojo. I think his name is Jojo, but it's in the English dub he's called Jotaro. But anyway, yeah. So he is, his last name's Joestar. So his family, like, has, for both the male, because his mother has it too, they have this star-shaped birthmark on their neck, and it, like, runs in their family. But, way back when his grandfather was, not his grandfather, but his, I think his great-grandfather, or his great, I think it was just his great-grandfather, But anyway, yeah. Wait, but that would mean. I think then that would mean his yeah, when they say great grandfather, that means that um, the father of his grandfather. So that's great grandfather. So anyway, yeah, I'm pretty sure because yeah, I'm pretty sure that's the one I'm going to talk about is the father of Jotaro's grandfather. I forget his grandfather's name, just both great and normal grandfather. So anyway, so so yeah, the reason I'm talking about it is because Jotaro's great grandfather, back then he lived when this evil man called Dio was alive, or was well, no, when not when Dio was alive. Dio was like his head was contained inside a like have you seen one of those shows or animes where they like keep the heads in these little containers where it's like glass and it's like filled with water because that apparently keeps it what is the word for it? Preserved, that's what it's called. Keeps the head preserved, so I guess it's still alive. Or specifically in Dio's case, he had a magical evil power. Because he's technically a vampire. He wasn't originally a vampire. I probably won't get to talk about that in this episode because, you know, it's the final episode I'm recording for this session, so you probably won't hear a huge amount, but I'll do as best as I can. But anyway, yeah, long story short, Dio is a vampire, and he pretty much takes control of Jotaro's great grandfather's body while they're on a ship heading to somewhere. It keeps showing it for each of the episodes. The opening, it shows the whole thing happen. So that's like pretty much the first thing that you see. And you think that's the anime starting, but that's just the opening for each one. Which is interesting at first, but it gets a little bit annoying after you get further in. But it does show like when it gets further in the episodes of the anime, it shows like Jotaro and his companions in the opening as well, like towards the end. But anyway, so yes, pretty much Dio, his head like is able to have like these, I guess, buds of flesh, and that's like they become tentacles where they can like sharp tentacles that stab in to the other bodies to take control of them, and you can plant these buds of flesh into the ones that yeah, almost three, but two. The one that I said Jotaro's best friend, I forget his name, but then the one that is like the blonde hair and he's like super muscular. I know his name is Polmarath or Polmarath or yeah, I think his name is Polmarath. I don't think his name is Polmarath. I think it's Polmarath. But anyway, yeah. So anyway, those two. Well, no, Polmarath wasn't taken over. He was just like convinced to help Dio to get what he was looking for. Okay, no. So the only one who was that was controlled, that was on Jotaro's companions, was the one that he like his best friend, I would say, yeah. And when that happens, they completely have to obey Dio's every order, and because that bud of flesh is like planted inside their head. And yeah, so anyway, let's see. Yeah, so I was talking about like him fighting against Jotaro, the great grandfather, on the ship, which I'm guessing, like I said, that ship, I think it was headed somewhere to more preserve Dio's head. Oh wait, no. Okay. I remember now. Okay, so the reason Dio's head was on the board because one of Dio's servants snuck onto the ship and kept the head with him, but then Dio decided to go independent and like fight Jotaro's great grandfather. So that's what it was. I was like, why the heck? Where were they going? But I remember. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I'm pretty sure the Jotaro's great grandfather was heading on to go meet his wife, because the ship did blow up, and yeah, because like they were fighting and all that. But anyway, yeah. So pretty much, Dio took over Jotaro's great-grandfather. And pretty much he has his body, so he's not only an evil, immortal vampire, but he also has the body of the Joestars. So that like makes the descendants of Jotaro, oh no, of Jotaro's great grandfather, all his descendants. Uh, if you don't know what descendants means, that means like his kids, his grandkids, all that stuff. So pretty much the bloodline that all gets passed down is like, even though they already exist, like the magic of their birthmark gives them the powers that Dio is like using with Jotaro's great grandfather's body, because now he like fused his head onto the body, and he's able to like control it easily with his magic and all that. But anyway, so yeah, pretty much that's how you figure out. Eventually, it shows Jotaro in like a jail cell and all that, and the main reason you'll find out, but I'm just gonna like talk about it, is that he thinks he's like possessed because there's no way he can die because of his. You'll learn further what it is in the anime, but it's called stand, and only you and other stand users can see it. The stand, no one else can see it. To them, it's just invisible, completely invisible. But with Jotaro stand, I like him so much. Not only because he's a cool, confident character, but also his stand is really cool too. I like when his stand attacks and it goes like wada wada wada. It's so funny. You should definitely see it. But anyway, yeah. So pretty much, yeah, he's in a jail cell because he wants to stay in there just so he doesn't hurt anyone or anything like that. Because you think he's like a really mean guy, but no, he's a really kind-hearted guy. He just cares about the safety of others because of his power. So yeah, because he even shows an example. So pretty much the guards are leading his grandfather and his mother to his jail cell because he wants them to get out of there. Because his mother tried many times, but then she finally called her father, which is Jotaro's grandfather, yeah, of course, to get him out of there. But that's when he brings along Abdal, which he's pretty much the assistant. I don't want to say servant because he cares about Abdal a lot, and yeah, I would say he's like, if not his assistant, if anything, his possibly his best friend. So Jotaro's grandfather's best friend, I mean, and he becomes good friends with Jotaro and the rest of the companions as well. He's a good guy as well. But anyway, so yeah, so pretty much Jotaro shows off what his ability can do. He had no idea what it was. Jotaro just thought he was cursed, thought himself he was cursed. So pretty much when the guards led him there, they got close to the cell, and everyone else in the cell with Jotaro was like terrified of him because they thought he was possessed because of all the crazy stuff that was happening around him, like around his body and all that. But anyway, yeah, then he even shows off to everyone that he can't die just so easily. So he takes the gun from the guard's belt with like his stand, and of course it looks like it's just floating over to him, but his stand grabs it, and then he puts it to his head and pulls the trigger, but then his stand is so fast. Anyways, the last one check for the episode. His stand is so fast that it catches the bullet and it just drops to the ground. And yeah, it's crazy. It's a crazy anime. That's only like the first episode I'm talking about. Imagine what the rest is. You'll find it interesting, I'm sure. But anyway, if you enjoyed the episode, if you'd be so kind as supporting me by donating to my Patreon, as long as you're not putting yourself in a bad spot by doing so, of course, then feel free to. The link is in the description down below, and I'll be seeing y'all later. I've been your host, Paul Mayoi, and goodbye.